Robert? Alright, I'm just going to introduce myself and then we're ready to go. And everybody, what's up? My name is Steven Hughes, host of the Steven's All Out Baseball Show here on Spreaker.com. My name is Steven Hughes, the host of your show here tonight at 8 o'clock West Coast time, 11 o'clock East Coast time. Today is a jam-packed show, a lot of news since I'm my last show. I have my special guests. I have two special guests once again tonight. First, my main man, the president of National Sports and the Major League Baseball analyst, Robert Dieters, is going to be on the phone with me in just a second. We'll be talking about the big news. Joe Mauer clearing waivers. He is not a Twin anymore, and he is going to be going on another team come the end of the season. And also, we'll be talking to Robert about the Twins. A good thing for the Twins, actually, finally. The Twins will be hosting the 2014 All-Star Game. And then some bad news that once again, Denard's banned on the DL. Also, Steven Strasburg, 2 to 3 starts left. And then my other special guest will be Casey Chang. This is his first time on the show. Great to have him on. And he'll be talking to us about the Strasburg ordeal. And he'll be talking about how he's thought of the Yu Darvish of the Texas Rangers. How Casey has been thinking of him this year, and we're looking forward to having him on the show. So first off, to start the show nice and swell, we'll be having now Robert Dieters, the president of National Sports. And Robert, you're on the show. Welcome to Steven's All Out Baseball Show.
Hey, Steven, glad to be on your show, man. Thank
you, Robert. I'm glad to have you on my show once again tonight. So the big news, obviously, involving Joe Mauer. He's cleared waivers and he is not on the Twins anymore. How's that a big impact for the Twins in the future?
Well, you look at Joe Mauer and you see the 8-year deal for a $184 million contract that expires in 2018. Now you see this catcher, he's going to go to his 30s. His knees are going to get, how catchers are, they do get old, and then their knees are going to get really bad, and you've seen Posey's already getting back, but he's still catching. And, I'm going to have to say that this was maybe kind of a good decision and kind of a bad decision, because you look at it as Joe Mauer, he is going to hurt his knees, and I think that he will have an injury that maybe will take him out for a year. And the good part is, with the Minnesota Twins, this is going to be a rebuilding team. And I think that the Twins actually have they'll have a chance next year to use their money right, but I think if they did get rid of Mauer, they would have a lot of money to use.
Got from an extension a couple years ago. That's obviously not going so well in the Minnesota's case. Joe Mauer is actually having a pretty good year. He's batting .312, 8 home runs. We've all known that Joe Mauer is not a power guy. 68 RBIs. He's having one of the better seasons he has had in the last few years, which has been full of injuries, and it was tough for the executives, for the organization to really take this in with Mauer getting all this money while not even playing at all. Plus Justin Morneau not playing because he had that concussion problem for the last 2 years. So I'm right. You're right, Robert. This is a good decision by the Twins. You don't know what you're going to get out of Mauer in the future. He can be one of the best catchers. He can still be one of the best catchers in the game. And then also, next year his career can be over. So we don't know, and I agree with you, Robert. You said something about the contract. Do you think that was the main reason, or one of the big reasons why Mauer is not on the Twins anymore?
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why he maybe wouldn't be on the team, because of his contract. And, the Twins could take a financial risk at this point. He might not be one of the best catchers, after that 2018. I don't know if he has that contract. I don't think he'll just be a good enough catcher until that 2018 contract. I think he might blow it out in 2015 or 2016. His knees can go out, and they could take a financial risk. Well, what next year they can do is they can waiver him again, or they can make a trade. But I don't think the trade. I don't think anyone's going to want a big enough contract for Joe Mauer.
Yeah, the contract is way too big. That's like a contract that the Yankees will give out. And speaking of the Yankees, just teams overall, who do you think teams, and just in mind, which teams would be interested in getting Joe Mauer at this point of the season?
Well, I have to say Angels. They haven't had a really good catcher in a while. And, that's probably going to be one team. And, I can't, off the top of my head, I would maybe also say the Red Sox might be interested in the catcher as well. But, I just don't see
they do have Jared Salta
for his big contract.
They do have Jared Saltamaki, and he's done pretty good this year for the Red Sox. Just a team that I'm thinking of is the A's. I know that they don't have a lot of money to probably pay his contract, but if this is a dream world and Joe Mauer was not worth as much money as he really is on this contract, I think the A's should get him, because the A's don't really have a lot of good catchers. I think that bringing a veteran catcher would be good, but you think about it, the money in Mauer's contract is just way too much for the A's.
Also, the team's even the Cubs, because Soto's gone. I think that would be a good landing spot. And
the Cubs are a playoff team. Since Mauer's going on waivers, he's probably going to be going on a team that's trying to make a spot to the playoffs. The Cubs are not even close to making the playoffs. They are in 5th in the NL Central. So, why do you say the Cubs?
Well, if you look at, the Twins, they're gonna have to, if they want to make a trade for the waivers, I think the Cubs would actually take a stab at it. I know at this time they didn't, but I think a trade for the Cubs wouldn't be a bad idea. And maybe, the Cubs are still in the rebuilding stage too. Soriano, getting rid of Soto and Dempster. They got, Soriano just got cleared off waivers and he got released. But, you see that the Cubs could maybe make a change. But I just don't see them being a playoff team, as you said. They're not a playoff team at all, period, and they're not. I just don't see them being a playoff team for maybe like the next 5 years.
Yeah, the Cubs are a good team. They're not. They don't look. The prospects don't really look that good. I'm trying to be as honest as I can. The prospects aren't there. The pitching is definitely not there. They've had a problem the last few years with their pitching and their starting rotation. They had Ryan Dempster. That's probably the only good note. But then trading him along with Giovanni Soto to Texas has really put the Cubs at they're just going downhill to continue with. If they're going to even think about trying to get like in the top 3 in the NL Central, they need to think of a big rebuilding plan. And they have Anthony Rizzo. He's a young guy. He's a very good first baseman. He has a lot of power, and I think he's going to do pretty well with the Cubs if he sticks with the Cubs. But the Cubs, they're not going to make the playoffs this year, obviously. They're not going to make the playoffs, in my opinion, for another few years to come. And, Robert, are you still on the line?
Yes, I am.
All right, sorry. I thought you lost connection for just a second. So we're going to get off the topic of Joe Mauer, and we're going to go to a good note for the Minnesota Twins and the organization. The Twins will be officially the 2014 All-Star Game in Minnesota at Target Field. Robert, is this a good thing, not just for the Twins organization, but for the city of Minnesota?
It's their third All-Star Game. I'm going to like it. I think I'm going to like watching it in Minnesota, no doubt. They announced it Wednesday, and it's going to be on July 15th. Commissioner Bud Selig, the owners, and the president met for that. And, it's going to be I think it'll be a good All-Star Game. and I'm gonna like seeing at Minnesota too.
Yeah, actually, the city of Minneapolis, I kind of screwed up there, but yeah, I've seen a lot of pictures. I've watched games from Target Field. It's a very nice field. It opened just a few years ago, and it looks like a very nice ballpark. I know it's a pitcher's ballpark because right field has that very tall wall up there. I think it's probably 20 feet up there, and then left field I think it's like 350, 360. So it's a pitcher's park, obviously. And this will be the first time that the Twin Cities will be hosting All-Star games since 1985 when the Twins were playing at the Metrodome. So I think the Twins, losing, sort of saying bye to Mauer is saying hello to the All-Star game in a couple of years. So I think this will be a good thing for the Twins, and it'll be a good thing moving forward to get the money that they'll probably get, the revenues that they'll get from the people watching the All-Star game, all the festivities and all that stuff, and it's all good from there. Robert, that's it, man. Thanks for having you on the show. I really thank you for just having. I'm very emotional right now, but thank you for being able to be on my show tonight. Any final words?
I'd like to say that the Twins stadium does hold 39,504. That's going to be a packed stadium. And the Twins have had their eye on All-Star games since 2008, and now they got their chance for 2014. Thanks to him for being on my show. And me and Steven may do a show tomorrow night. And hopefully I'll do a show next week.
All right, thank you, Robert. Actually, I want to state out something. There was a comment made by one of the national sports people. It says the Dodgers win the World Series. Do you agree with that or disagree with that? Do you buy or sell?
I'm going to disagree with that. You know, the Giants are 3.5 games up from the Dodgers, and I just don't see the Dodgers making that wild card either. I mean, they're close. They can make a run, but I just don't think they'll get it.
All right, Robert. Thank you very much for being able to be on my show. I'll talk to you later. And you know what? Thank you, Robert. And I'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks, Steven.
There he is, Robert Dieters, the host of Dietz Sports Talk Show. This Dietz Sports Show. Sorry. It's awesome to get the opportunity to have my friends be special guests and being able to get the opportunity to be on my show. That has been very successful for as many shows as hopefully possible. So we're actually going to be going on a commercial break right now. When we come back, we'll be talking about Steven Strasburg, and I'm going to bring in my special guest, my second special guest, Casey Chang, another MLB analyst. He'll be talking to me about the Steven Strasburg issue, and then he'll be giving his opinion on how Yu Darvish has done this season. We'll be coming back with all that and more when we come back to Steven's All Out Baseball show here on August 30th on Spreaker.com.
Transmissions will resume. I try to push drugs to keep us all down and hope that we will never see the truth around. Another promise, another life like a fast lane.
Okay, I'm coming on now, okay? Hello, welcome back to Steven's All Out Baseball show here